Have you ever wondered why some people can't stop certain behaviors, even when they know it's destroying their life? Whether it's alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, social media, or even mobile games. Behind it all, there's a much deeper process happening inside our brains. The human mind was shaped to seek pleasure and avoid pain. In the brain, this happens through a circuit called the mesolimbic pathway, involving areas like the nucleus accumbens, the ventral tegmental area, and the prefrontal cortex. Whenever we do something rewarding, like eating chocolate or receiving a compliment, the brain releases dopamine, the neurotransmitter of pleasure and motivation. But dopamine is not just about making us happy. It also acts like a learning marker, telling us, hey, that was important, do it again. The problem starts when certain substances and behaviors are so powerful that they hijack this natural system. Drugs like cocaine, nicotine, or heroin make the brain release dopamine levels up to 10 times higher than normal, and this messes everything up. In an attempt to protect itself, the brain reduces the number of dopamine receptors and becomes less sensitive to pleasure. The result? The person needs larger and larger doses to feel the same effect. This is called tolerance. And when the drug or addictive behavior isn't present, the opposite happens. Anxiety, irritability, sadness, insomnia. The brain starts seeking that substance or behavior not for pleasure anymore, but just to escape the suffering. It's like a chemical debt that keeps growing. Over time, other brain areas also start to suffer. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and impulse control, loses efficiency and even volume in more severe cases. That's why people feel like they've lost control, even when they desperately want to stop. On top of that, neutral stimuli like a place, a smell, or even a song can become powerful triggers. The brain associates all of that with the pleasure the drug once brought and starts firing automatic cravings. To make it even darker, there's something called neuroplasticity at play. The brain literally rewires itself, creating new neural connections that reinforce the addictive behavior. In some cases, substances like cocaine even alter gene expression inside neurons, producing proteins that make this cycle stronger and harder to break. But why is the brain so vulnerable to this? The answer lies in our evolutionary history. Thousands of years ago, our brains were programmed to seek immediate rewards. The humans who ate more, had more sex, and avoided pain had better chances of surviving. But today, we live in a world full of superstimuli, instant dopamine from social media, increasingly potent drugs. Our brains, still wired like they were in the Stone Age, just weren't built to handle this level of excess. And addiction isn't just about chemicals. Online gaming, pornography, social media, all of these can activate the same dopamine circuits. Recent studies show that social media addiction, for example, alters the communication between the nucleus accumbens and the prefrontal cortex in the same way seen in drug addicts. Environment also plays a huge role. A classic experiment called Rat Park showed that rats raised in rich environments with space, toys, and other rats to socialize with used far less drugs than those raised in isolated, empty cages. This shows that loneliness, stress, and toxic environments increase the risk of developing an addiction. Another crucial point is understanding the relapse cycle. First comes the emotional or environmental trigger, then the intense craving, followed by use. Next comes guilt, regret, and lowered self-esteem, which leads to new use just to ease the emotional pain. It's a loop that feels endless. Here's effect many people don't know. Functional MRI scans show that even after months without using an addict, a brain can light up, just by seeing a photo or hearing a song related to the addiction. This explains why relapses are so common, even after long periods of abstinence. And now, some hope from recent research. In 2025, studies in the US started testing a method called focused ultrasound, which acts directly on the nucleus accumbens, like a reset for the reward circuits. Early results showed that about 75% of participants drastically reduced their cravings for drugs like methamphetamine and opioids. Science is moving fast, but we're still far from a simple solution. To wrap it all up, here's one important truth. Addiction is not about a lack of willpower. It's a chronic brain disease with biological, emotional, and social roots. It involves deep changes in the brain's chemistry, structure, and function. The good news is that the brain is plastic. With proper treatment, psychological support, changes in environment, and new technologies, it's possible to reverse much of the damage and rewrite your own path. Behind every compulsive behavior, there's a brain fighting between desire, pain, and the hope for a new beginning. And that's exactly what neuroscience shows us. No matter how dark the road seems, recovery is possible. If you've made it this far, it probably means this topic speaks to you or maybe to someone you care about. Remember, recognizing the problem is already a huge step towards change. Recovery is possible, and you don't have to go through this alone. If this video helped you in any way, don't forget to leave a like, share it with someone who might need this information, and subscribe to the channel for more content about mental health and how our brain works. And tell me in the comments, what topic would you like me to talk about next? Stay strong, take care of your mind, and I'll see you in the next video.